I was once a wee 1200 MMR animal that did Mask of Madness Ricky and permanently roaming Mirana exclusively. Two things haven't changed. I'm still an animal and I still play Ricky. So how did someone as unhinged as me manage to jump from that MMR to Immortal in less than 6 months? Well, I discovered Visage. So disregard this guide entirely if you can micro and play Visage. Visage is literally a free Immortal. This guide is going to be tailored more so at core players, as I just believe the role as easier to net faster gains, especially at lower MMR, but support still plays a major role, and that only improves as skill goes up. So if you're a support player, you can look forward to reaping the benefits later on, which is probably a better thing, because it gets harder. But let's get to the main question. How the fuck can I get MMR and enjoy it at the same time? Crazy shit, right? Well, let's see what we're diving into today. Gonna be covering a few little things. First off, find your niche. Don't overthink a number. Reality is, you can carry over 70% of your games. One tricking is a great for overall improving all your heroes faster, and analyzing, but do it differently, and keeping a good mindset. Yes. Hopefully the C players watch that. Alright, going on to the first one. Finding your niche. I'm a strong believer that next to anything can work to Immortal, and that meta overall is highly overrated, especially for lower MMR players. If you are under, I would say 4k, I would avoid meta like the plague. Meta is not your friend. Meta does not mean you can get to Immortal. Meta doesn't do that. Meta will allow you to get, you know, substantial gains, maybe 300 MMR or so, but you'll lose it eventually. Instead, let's niche down and let's absolutely min-max one thing that we can play confidently better than our MMR, that we can learn better. So as you know, mine is Ricky mid, with a little pocket nuke. Find yours. Just understanding deeply the ins and outs and what you can get away with, the plays you can make, which is beyond, if you can do those beyond your MMR level, eventually, once you get comfortable, you're going to skyrocket. And for this, I have some recommendations of the picks that you could do. I highly recommend an active playstyle. I feel like if you're going to play traditional POS ones, farming roles, Medusa, AM, stick to your farming pattern and get 700 GPM and hope you outfarm the other Guardian carry. It's not a way to improve, and it's not a way to improve faster, as brutal as that sounds. Pick something that creates tempo, is what I'm trying. So for these picks on the screen right now, I'm looking for 4 aspects. They come online early, they can create some sort of tempo, they have decent survivability through either skill usage or item build-up, and they are semi-role flexible. So, next one. Don't overthink a number. I was caught up on an MMR for a long time, I'd always look at it, be like, fuck, not really getting anywhere this week, or I'm down a couple hundred, or I'm up heaps. You get a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of MMR anxiety. Doesn't happen anymore. But this is a simple rule, but it's something that people can get really caught up on. There's going to be inevitable drops and glorious gains. And as someone who just came off at rather rough, I think it was like a 26 loss streak with a few wins in between. Take it from me, I'm not even worried. I know I'll get it back. Sometimes there's just, super bad luck, and getting frustrated over a number means nothing. If you played well and still lost, that means that you're in theory only going to gain further than only playing well in a winning match in the long run. Keep in mind, it's a marathon, not a race. Even I am nowhere near the end of it. Reality is, you can carry over 70% of your games. And this number is probably even higher at lower MMRs. Even at my MMR, I still feel like I can carry a lot of these games. Sure, your teams can be really bad, but there's no such thing as being able to climb out of any rank, especially if you play heroes that do something. I'm not talking about the Medusas or, the AIMs or the TBs as before. And that's something that everyone fails to grasp, is that the best way to win is to be more active than the other team, all the way up to the rating I play at. Even at my rating, games are still lost because people refuse to do something even when they absolutely can. Pick the heroes that allow for an active playstyle, get comfortable, and watch how you drastically improve in skill and game understanding. These heroes are going to allow you to make impacts around the map that you would not have been able to do before. I can save lanes. I can crush games. I can absolutely be a menace on the map. I can solo take over a map on Ricky mid. You can do that too. you can find heroes that do that as well, and that you can give your team hopefully enough time to catch up and have an impact. If you're playing heroes that don't allow that playstyle, where you can yourself, play around, maybe just 3 of you, maybe your supports are just with you, and your core and your off lane is absolutely demolished in the lane, you can buy space to them. You're strong enough to do it. You've got a hero that allows you to do it early on. One tricking is great for overall improving all of your heroes faster. Believe it or not, I think this is 100% true. This is something I've definitely experienced over a long time. I went from Herald to about Immortal MMR in about 6 months with Visage only. And at the start, I was definitely had harder games with any other hero. I was kind of out of my depth in game sense and just other general areas. But through what I'm going to call subconscious learning, I learned how to play heroes better. I learned how to play every hero better because I was around better players that make better decisions. And because I brute forced my way through sheer micro and playstyle, I was forced to play Visage. But that is fine. And that's going to be fine if, you follow the same journey, you find your one hero and you take it to the top. But what people fail to see is that when you get to these high MMRs one-tricking, even though people recommend against it sometimes, you constantly are seeing how these heroes are played around you, and you're going to learn. You're going to learn the timings they hit, the items they go, the way they play their lane, the way they engage, the way they disengage, what they're scared of, and what they're not scared of, which you won't have at a lower MMR. And now I can say confidently, after, thousands of hours playing Visage and Riki, Naga and stuff, like a lot of heroes now, that I can pick up a lot of other heroes very, very quickly and play them to an average level in my MMR just because of what I've seen. I haven't actually played them, but I already have a general idea before I go into it. That's how that hero plays. I know how that hero plays. I can do it. I can replicate that. And that's something you're going to also just get a lot of if you can gain MMR and in this way. Analyze. But let's do it differently. We're not going to be watching replays. We're not going to be wasting our time doing anything like that. Let's make it proactive. Let's make it amongst the game. Let's make it easy as well. Very easy, very hassle-free. Analyzing is great, but it's just super hard for a complex game like Dota. We just can't go in and aim train like Valorant, learn smokes like on CS, or just learn the best starting setups like chess. How I do it is I adopt an in-game approach to analyzing. After a majority of my deaths, I'll always stop to think, what went wrong? Did I get greedy? Did I engage poorly or position poorly? Or did I just get outplayed? And at the absolute last, was it due to my own team's misplay? Taking 10 seconds in the death screen can retrospectively think about what happened will reinforce a good habit of constantly improving how you think in and outside the game. Though it seems pointless on paper, after hundreds if not thousands of repetitions, these plays that you were making before will slowly fade out as your decision making changes. There's still games now that I will dive in beforehand even though I know it's bad, and I still tell myself, man, that's throwing the game. And if I can fix those little issues, I see it as this. That's 20 MMR I'm going to eventually get. I'm creating a bank. But when I don't make these mistakes, I'm going up 20 MMR unironically. And that's how you got to look at it. Maybe you play different settings. Maybe you swap from, point and click cast to quick cast. That's 500 MMR if you get confidently because you're faster. You got to think of everything like that. Every little change you make is MMR. It is MMR. Every single little micro change you make and improvement is 20 MMR. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less. But you always are gaining MMR, even in a losing match if you take this approach and you learn from it. Now the last one, the most important one. Something that took me a long time to mature and realize. Keep a good mindset. It's so important. It's so easy to see keep a good mindset. Yeah, I'm great in the game. No, you're probably not. You're probably a fucking dickhead. And that's fine, but you're not going to get anywhere eventually. You're going to lose games because of it. So I used to be the most absolute toxic dickhead that would tilt my team unnecessarily. And I realized it doesn't help me in my pathway to MMR gains. It's very important to understand that not every game can be a good game. There's going to be games that you absolutely fucking flop, or a teammate does. And the strength in keeping positive and learning how to overcome these challenges will allow in a much enjoyable ranked experience. Instead of blaming teammates, get into a mindset of trying to play around this. Is my offlaner having a bad game, for example, on Death Knight? Oh, sorry, not Death Knight, Dragon Knight, sorry, too much WoW. Tell him to rush a blink and play with you. And that's why it's important, even going back to my earlier points, play an active hero. active hero allows you to keep a good mindset because you know you can always do something, and also you can help your team, or you can get your team to help you. They can build differently. Instead of that Dragon Knight going for an armlet first, tell him, get a blink, man. It's fine, you had a rough lane, get a blink, be active. Or just telling him, an axe, man, just go to the jungle, go farm your blade mail, or LC, vice versa. All these heroes, sometimes they just need someone to tell them, these players, because they're already on tilt, mind you, just to go. It's all right. Go get your timings, and then come and join me. And when you're not playing an active hero, the map gets absolutely submerged and crushed, and when you are, you have a chance of holding the map, which is super, super important. Hey guys, this is me editing right now, but I just wanted to say, this is going to be a multi-part series. I'm going to explain everything I know, tempo, how to create it, how to rotate around the map, items for different heroes, different builds, stuff that I think is strong. So hopefully you can apply it to your game with a lot of these theory I go on with, and just maybe it gives you food for thought about how you could possibly change something of your gameplay that might be holding you back. If you were wondering on the video, this is a toilet roll. My boom arm does not come all the way down. Sorry, that's the wrong way. But to give you context, I can pull this all the way down, and if I put the mic on, it just keeps going up. It's fucked. So I will have a toilet roll for now. It's doing a fucking great job. If you're wondering if it falls over, it falls over less than that. It does not fall over. It is stable, and it is going to probably be here for at least a couple more videos. So I just thought I would clarify that before there's going to be obviously someone that, you know, points it out. And yeah, it's a toilet roll. All right, I'll see you soon. I got big things planned. The next video will probably come in a few days. Just still learning the equipment, learning all my editing, but I hope to see you. My Twitch is in the description. I would love it if you subscribed and liked the video. If you have any suggestions, or if you have any questions, or if you have anything you maybe want me to talk about, go for it. I'm super open to ideas. This is something where it's somewhere I can put my information, I can talk about it, I can kind of like reiterate it and learn myself, and hopefully you can gain something out of it as well. So thank you. Also, don't forget, I'm 6'2", 120 kilos, 7 inches, lean built. So don't fuck with me.